Hello, I'm Bobbi-Jo with Key Auto Group's customer care team. This is Melissa from SGI. Today we're going to show you how to properly install a children's car seat because children are our most precious cargo. She's also going to tell us and show us a little bit more about why these things are so important.
So first and foremost today we want to kind of educate you as best we can on how to properly install a car seat. We do not want to put a car seat where there's an active airbag. First and foremost, never put one in the front seat. In the back seat, we always recommend people to, if you only have one child, put it on the passenger side in the back. That way there, when you get out of a vehicle, if it's parallel parked on the side of the street, you're not fighting traffic with the flow of traffic. The kids aren't on the driver's side. You can let them out here comfortably. Sidewalk is going to be right beside you. It's not a big deal. There's no harm for the child. So in this segment we're going to show you how to properly install a stage 1 car seat. And actually this car seat is with the anchoring systems that it comes with the lap belt that's installed in your vehicle and the base itself, or the carrier itself. There's actually 3 different ways that you can install this one. So we're just going to show you the best and most convenient way to install this, probably most handy as well. Alright, so the first way we're going to show you today to install the base of this car seat is with a universal anchoring system. Most vehicles nowadays have anchoring points attached to them already. These are manufacturer specs. That's most standard in all vehicles. On a car seat, you're going to have a couple different options for your anchoring systems. We're basically just going to feed these through the proper placement of them, which you can find in your manufacturing book of the car seat. Just make sure the straps are routed proper. Take your clamp. So one thing is take your clamp or your system off of your car seat. Pretty simple. Push and slide. Push it down till you hear the click. That one's installed proper. Same with the other one. Pretty simple. Take your strap, feed it through the route already, as opposed to one common mistake that we see with car seat installation is people will try to be pulling away from the car seat and it doesn't tighten it up and they wonder why they're struggling with having it tight. Feed the strap back through the route that the anchoring system is from, push down, give a little bit of a pull, and it's a solid fit. Some people would struggle with this. Maybe you're a smaller woman who doesn't feel like you can get the fit proper. Even if you want to get in, give a knee, push, pull back. It tightened it up even another inch or so. One thing we don't want, what we look for I guess in a car seat, is we don't want it to move more than an inch either way, which this one is, as you can see, very, very tight. So the next way we want to show you how to install this car seat is with your regular shoulder belt out of your vehicle. So we're just going to bring this all the way out until it starts retracting in. We're going to feed it through. Each car seat is different. I just recommend that you check all your owner's manuals with them. This one here in particular, it's advising us to install it lap belt through the allotted pathway here. You just want to click it until you actually hear the click. Get all this slack out of it. We want to tighten this all the way out till you can hear it retracting back in. And the same as the last time, you just want to put a lot of pressure down, give it a pull on that slack. Make sure it's all out. Till we got a good fit. Again, we're not moving it. We don't want to allow that seat to move an inch either way. So we got a snug fit on this one. One for this particular car seat is we can actually use just the carrier itself and install it on the seat. You can either pick the passenger side. This one can actually go in the middle as well if you have the belt in the middle. There is actually on all car seats, there's going to be a level. It depends again on the car seat. Just recommend that you check that out. you do need to want the car seats to be level. With this one in particular, if we're not using a base, you see that there's going to be a big gap underneath here. One thing that we can recommend for you guys to do is take a simple thing as such as a pool noodle. You can take a couple different pieces of pool noodle, tape them up together, put them in here just to give it a support underneath the bottom. We don't recommend a blanket or anything like that because that's going to compress and it's not going to do its job. The pool noodles work perfect. So same scenario, grab your lap belt. This one actually has slots on the sides where it can get fed through. Same situation. Flip it back up onto the other side. Same thing, feed it through the required spots. Now on most car seats, same thing, always check your owner's manual. This one is recommending that the handle be in the upright position when in transportation. So this is what we want to see. Again, it's going to show it on the sides. This one does fit in well on this behind the passenger seat. The front seat's not actually pushing on this car seat. If this car seat was if the back seat would be pushing and the kids riding like this, that's not what we're recommending. We want the car seat to be level, not be able to be moved an inch either way. Baby's good to go.
So here we are. We're with a car seat here that has been in an accident. Melissa, can you show us why it's no longer good?
Absolutely. We just want to make sure we check all the straps proper. If there's any wear, deterioration of the plastic. One thing on this car seat, you can actually, I'm not sure if you can see this in the video, but if you rub your fingers on the strap here, you can definitely tell that there is tearing. Pressure was definitely applied to this car seat. Mm-hmm. And also too, if on the front side of this car seat, if you looked at it, there's not actually any visible damage to it. However, when you go to the back, there's actually a spot here where it did take a huge force. It actually cracked the back portion of this car seat pretty much right through. So that's a huge indication that this car seat did its job. Actually, the little one that was involved in the collision on this walked away with no injuries whatsoever. Awesome. It was installed proper, it did its job, and like I said, as you can tell by the damage, this car seat would no longer be able to be used anymore. It's served its function once and it needs to be replaced.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so that covered our stage 1 car seat. A lot of the car seats are going to be quite similar. Just check the owner's manual of the seat and of the vehicle to make sure that one of those ways is the proper way to install it in your vehicle. The next car seat that we're going to cover is a stage 2 and a stage 3. This one happens to be in the same car seat, so it's a little bit different, but generally the same idea. Okay, Melissa, let's get this guy in there.
So we're going to use our anchoring system points again. Again, this one you can install it with either of the anchoring systems, or we recommend, or not recommend, but manufacturing states to have the route path of the belt, use the route path that's closest to the back of the seat. Okay, so if we were going to use the seat belt that's in the vehicle, it would just get routed through the belt path that's closest to the back of the seat. Okay. So one thing I want to show you before I actually install this car seat is one of our huge concerns with parents is when the anchorings, and I'll use this pen as an example of the anchoring system, when they actually have the clip on there, they struggle getting it off. But the biggest problem is when on the anchoring point, or on the system here, there's a little clasp. Everybody would just pull it up and keep pulling it back, so it keeps wanting to catch on the anchoring system. What we recommend is just, when it's clipped on, push it back, push this little lever up, which on your car seat you'll see it a little bit easier. Give it a half twist and pull it back, and then it's not trying to re-catch on that. That'll save you a lot of time, headache, and sweat. So what we're going to do is same thing as the stage 1. Find your anchoring points, clip it on, wait till you hear the clip. And again, we want to feed the strap back through the belt path. It gives you the best leverage to tighten up the car seat, which most parents are that's the most part that they struggle at. They just try to pull it away from the car seat as opposed to back through where it comes from. We've got a car seat that's not moving an inch either way. Our next system on here is the anchoring point. Again, I'm going to recommend you check your owner's manual of the vehicle. It will give you the preferred or tested way, the proper way to install this over the seat. This one actually has, you can either install it over the seat or there is a gap between the headrest. So we're going to go to the back of the vehicle and I'll just point out as to where the anchoring points are in the back. On the back here, you do see that there's an anchoring point right from the manufacturer. We want to clip that on here and pull tight. Again, come back where the belt path is. Pull tight. In the event of the collision, this car seat isn't really going anywhere. So unfortunately, we don't have a booster seat with us today, but we just wanted to go over some information for you regarding them. As of June 27th, 2014, the mandatory requirements for a child to be in a booster seat is they have to be under 7 years of age, they have to be less than 4'9", and less than 80 pounds. So they have to, if they don't pass all that criteria, they have to still be in a booster seat. One of the big things that we see is, and I'll give you some information on it, just to show you an example here, sitting on this chair, if this was a booster seat, my knees, if this was the car seat in your vehicle, my knees bend at the natural bend where the seat ends. I'm sitting up straight. If I was to put a seatbelt on, it wouldn't be riding up on my chin or too low. It's right where it should be. Lots of times, kids, when they're in a booster seat, they're not at this natural bend. Their legs are actually sitting out like this because they're too short. So basically what a kid's going to do is eventually fall, slide, slouch to the point where their knees are going to get to that natural bend. And now the lap belt, instead of sitting over their hips where is the strongest part of them, now it's sitting up onto their stomach area. And in the event of a collision, that's where it's going to be taking the biggest impact. And then also too, you're going to have a shoulder belt that's not sitting across the shoulders. It's sitting up underneath the chin. What a kid's normally do when something's uncomfortable, they move it. So now we've got a child sitting in the car, in the front or in the passenger back seat. They've got the strap belt over their head and a lap belt that's coming up across their midsection, which isn't properly securing them. So what we want to do is put them back into a booster seat, lift them up, make that shoulder and lap belt sit exactly where it's supposed to be, and you should be good to go.
Yeah. So Melissa, what's some of the little tips and tricks that will help our parents keep their children safer in their car seats?
I think the biggest thing is lots of parents don't like to or think that a tight seatbelt is going to be hurting their child, but we always recommend and suggest at a baby at 2 or 3 weeks old, if you get them used to the seatbelt and the car seat fitting proper at that age, you have less likely a 6 or 7 year old that's unhappy with a tight seatbelt at that age. So get them used to it while they're young, and then it'll be something that they'll be used to the rest of their life, basically.
Okay.
Different little tips such as making sure that if you aren't familiar with your car seat, check the manufacturer book. All of them come equipped with them. If you have any questions, check it out. Routing the straps proper, making sure there's no twists or kinks in them. With the harnesses that come on the car seats, making sure the belt on your shoulder blade, you want to be able to have we call it finger test. Stick a finger between the shoulder blade and the lap belt, or the chest belt. that would give you a good indication that it's fitting proper. A lot of parents, they'll have the chest clip that comes across the chest piece. Most of the time we'll see it sitting way too low. In the event of a collision, if that's not sitting in the proper spot, chest or the shoulder straps are falling off the child, and in the event of a collision, the child will just come flying out from between the straps. So that's what the purpose of that strap is for. I know lots of parents don't like it, or kids don't like it, or it's too high, but if it just level with the shoulders and it's doing its job.
Good.
So just a few little tidbits.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for coming today. I greatly appreciate your help, and maybe we'll see you in the future.
Thank you.